So in this next video we have finished our hike to Karakol and we're actually driving westwards again past Kul towards the Song Kul lake, and we see some beautiful views, really reminding me somewhat of like a deserty US West. So as you saw, we were just on an amazing highway, but we've now reached the part that is still under construction, as everywhere in Kyrgyzstan, fully being developed and built by Chinese companies. Here, the highway, I guess, that they're building towards the south, that you need to take from Kul after a certain point, at least now, it's still under heavy construction. But that will probably all be finished by the time any of you watching this video visit the country. All of these roads will be amazing, like the road we were just on. We're doing a little coffee stop here in a place called Sari Bolyuk. And you can see many other people had the same idea because it's the last town slash village in quite a bit. And this is where we're gonna be having a coffee. That says coffee. Oh no, café something. So as we continue down the road, at a certain point you will branch off of an asphalt road onto this type of gravel road with these absolutely beautiful views. You enter this valley where you slowly make your way deeper and deeper into the valley, and you'll see lots of, I guess, nomadic yurts and nomads with their huge flocks of horses, cows, and goats. And you start heading up. I believe almost 3,500 meters to the pass, which will take you then down into Song Kul. And actually, we did see some yak herds even all the way up there. But one thing that you should bear in mind is that there's actually, and this is something we didn't realize, there's no more petrol stations. There's no petrol stations at all within Song Kul lake area itself. So before you head into that direction, really be prepared and have enough petrol, have a full tank of gas. So as we continue up the valley, and you see as the road is winding all the way up, you pass more and more of these farms, basically. Some of them are yurts, some of them are actually built up with mud and bricks. And you'll be passing up on the hill. You see the sheep and the goats over there. You can see the road conditions, they're not ideal, but this was by far not the worst road conditions that we'd encountered. There's no more trees because we're above the tree line. We're well above 3,000 meters at this point, and you can see the sheep. It's a special type of sheep that they have in Central Asia, and if you look carefully, you can see that these sheep have a very large butt, and this is a butt made out of fat, I believe, entirely, and they like to use that fat in their cooking. So if you look at them running around, they have like a big butt jiggling butt, and that's a specific sheep race that they like to eat in Central Asia, not just Kyrgyzstan, but I've heard in Uzbekistan as well. On our way up the pass to Song Kul Lake, 3,000 meters right now. Lots of wind, pretty cold. That's the valley we drove up from. Beautiful views here. No asphalt though, but beautiful. Those are some yak here at 3,500 meters on the pass to Song Kul Lake. The first we've seen so far. Or I've actually never seen any in my life. So at this point, we've already passed the pass at 3,500 meters, and Kyrgyzstan is crazy where you'll be driving in the most remote places, and as you see here, you just have tourists, mostly from Europe, hiking at random locations and cycling at random locations. And here you see these huge herds of horses, sheep, and cows on the grasslands. Now you can see as we're descending down in the distance towards Song Kul Lake. It's a huge lake. The views are ridiculous, and it's exactly what we came to Song Kul to see. These large, flat plains, almost steppe-like. I don't know if this is officially a steppe, but it's steppe-like. This is 3,000 meters now, and on the northern side of the lake, my impression is that you have the people living in these yurts with their farms, and all of the hotel yurts are more on the southern side of the lake. So we have to now go all the way around the lake, passing by these huge open vistas, and we'll be passing herds after herds of sheep, horses, and cows, as this is where I believe nomadic people actually live. There are no fixed structures around Song Kul, at least not when we went. These people, they pick up their yurts and they move to the next location and they pick it up, and you can see how enormous the views are. On the way to our camp at Lake Song Kul. It's called Zalkar.
Continue for 800 meters.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. So what can you do when you arrive to a camp in Song Kul? The most popular activity is horse riding. So the camp was quite full, quite a lot of people, and pretty much everyone did at least one horse riding session, if not multiple. So people that were staying multiple nights chose to do also multiple horse rides. We did a 1 hour horse ride. Some people did a 2 hour horse ride where you can go up to the hill. There's also hiking. You can do hiking, and we saw some tourists doing just cross country jogging, I guess, around their camps. In general, apart from that, I don't know if there's too much to do. We went to look at the lake. The lake is a salty lake. There are fish inside. There's even seagulls inside the lake. Right. And so we actually decided, after having been there, to just stay one night. The family that owns the camp, so the guy now leading us by horse is called Zalkar, and the camp is called Zalkar Camp. They will feed you lunch, breakfast, dinner. It was a good price, not too expensive. I'm not sure right now off the top of my head, maybe some 40 or 50 euros per night for sleeping. And you get to sleep in a yurt camp, in a yurt tent. And I mean, it's 3,000 meters. It's August right now, and it was still quite cold. So at night they come and they have little ovens inside the yurts, and they heat up your yurt. But the rest of the night, as it cools down, you will get quite cold. And but they have tons of covers for your bed to stay warm. Camp at Lake Song Kul. So to give you a look up of what one of these yurts looks like on the inside, at Zalkar you get basically 4 beds, 60 euros per night. At least we paid 60 euros per night. We get a heater. This room is really warm in comparison with the outside, and basically you have this sort of door with this mat that you push out of the way. And then I turn off my light so you can see, but maybe you can see the stars. I'm not sure, but Stars are extremely bright here. And yeah. Literally no one and nothing, but you can still see the lake over there. And we just crossed the pass on the western side of Song Kul, and this is the view. That was approximately at 3,400 meters. There were also really large vultures that we could see flying around. It's like they blasted this out of the mountain not so long ago. Maybe also as part of like an exploration for the mine, you know? Like to see if there was any special resources. I mean, this might be like an iron mine because it's so red. The earth is super red. So at a certain point coming down the pass actually, you'll be in the middle of the mine. So on the left and the right, we have these piles of rock from the mine. You can even see some machinery there. And this is an enormous open pit mine. And we're still trying to figure out what they're mining. We see some black patches of rock, so maybe it's coal, but we also see a lot of red. And so maybe it's iron, and maybe it's neither, right? We don't have internet here, unfortunately, so we can't really check it. But look at that, and those are brand new, so likely Chinese run mine. Those are brand new Shakman cars.
Right?
Yeah, straight. I mean, we're in a mine, so it's not clear what the road is anymore. Yeah, but I think straight.
Okay.
So we concluded that it's coal. The truck in front of us is transporting coal. By the way, the signs here in the mine, it's really hard to tell which way is the road and which way are just mining paths, but thankfully we took the right paths. There's no real indicator that tells you which way to go within the mine, you know. It's a bit confusing.
Anthony a 15 ans. Élève de 3e, c'est en musique qu'il fait ses devoirs. Dès qu'il a terminé, il prend la direction du bureau familial. C'est là qu'il
So now we are on our way back towards Bishkek, and as you see, we're driving on a stretch of road that has been remade in these large construction works by the Chinese. And one thing that you'll see across Kyrgyzstan, which is really beautiful and which I'm zooming into now, are these cemeteries by the side of the road, and that you'll find near every village. They're the most, I guess you could say, the most historical looking items on the way driving around Kyrgyzstan. This is what a average Kyrgyz village looks like. You can tell the Soviet influence, but what's really beautiful are these, essentially it feels like you're in a desert, but then you have these large rivers roaring through the valleys and through the mountains. And these rivers are so beautiful and blue, and they create these oases of greenery around them. As you'll see, there's a reason why everyone driving around in Kyrgyzstan rents 4x4s. Soon in this video you'll see we had a pop tire. Pretty much everyone rented a 4x4, but also many people, they went in groups. So these groups, they have their own driver, and they basically it's a group organized trip. And so I always found these roaring rivers to be really beautiful. I imagine, and I commented to the others, that rafting here must be amazing, right? Those rivers look like they're really action packed, but the infrastructure is just not there yet. And the roads, I would say 80% of the roads are not asphalted. So now we're already driving on our way north towards Bishkek. This drive from Song Kul took over 7 hours, which includes 1 hour, so maybe 7.5 hours. So driving on these roads, which this is probably better road, but as you see in the videos, a lot of it is unpaved. Actually, ironically, we got a pop tire on paved road, I believe. We think, likely. Oops, there we go. Adjusting camera, and thankfully Matthias has experience with changing tires. So that's what we gotta do here in Kyrgyzstan. Even if you got a good off-road car, you can get pop tires. We're even talking about it today, that it was made sense to leave for Bishkek early, in case something would happen and we would miss our flight. Well, there you go, something happened. Our tire popped, and hopefully we can get it fixed soon and still make it in Bishkek today. And we still have 1 day of buffer then in Bishkek too, before our flight back home. So we drove 5 minutes further, and thankfully we were really close to a town. And we found, after talking to several locals, this car mechanic was taking the tire, because the spare tire can only go apparently 20 kilometers. He's checking now where it broke.
I can hear it.
Yeah.
But I think in all those towns they have one like this because the roads are so messed up.
So I went to do some shopping, and in the meantime, some water, etc. In the meantime, the wheel has been repaired, hopefully. Let's see how it goes on the road. Here, this car mechanic. So we finally arrived in Bishkek. We're at a restaurant called Glav Piv Trest. And first we got ourselves some beers. And this is a restaurant that still has a Soviet interior, but not here where we're sitting. But we took ourselves some beer fish was the literal translation. And then afterwards some steaks and lamb and shashliks. And now I received my main, which they brought with the starters actually. A massive leg of lamb, and Mao got herself a huge steak. So this is the entrance to the Osh market or Osh Bazar in Bishkek. Super busy here. We are on our final day in Bishkek, and this is something we hadn't visited yet. We saved it for when Mao would be with us, and so let's go check it out. Yeah, you want to go inside? Wow. So on the inside here you have so many different spices. It's crazy. And many nuts. Sure. Спасибо. Hey guys, so this is nearing the end of the video, and I just wanted to say, as you've watched this Osh Bazar market, you've looked at the amazing produce of all these merchants, and look at how unique the people look here in Kyrgyzstan and Central Asia. It's really, you can tell that this used to be the crossroads of the world, essentially the Silk Road. Maybe now Central Asia is really not on anyone's map anymore, but in the past this used to be the center of the world, and everything that was bought in Europe or in China and the Middle East had to be traded through Central Asia. So I just wanted to say, if you like this video, leave a comment, a like, and a subscribe if you would like to see more of this type of content. We really did enjoy Kyrgyzstan. It was a great 1 week or 1.5 weeks, and we can fully recommend it. Great for outdoors adventure people, and Bishkek itself as a city is also really cool. So thank you very much.